Good morning, friends. This is Kiran Saswais. Welcome to online classes from WWSOS Armory. We are continuing the lesson, the silver lining. In last period, we discussed about that. Mr. David came with the luggage man, porter, and welcome Mr. and Mrs. Bhandari to the David. And Mrs. Bhandari asked the one questions, did you have a nice journey, Mr. David? She asked with her sweet smile. Actually, Mrs. Bhandari asked one question to the Mr. David कि आपकी जर्नी अच्छी हुई क्या, इस तरह से वो सवाल पूछने लगी. एंड टिल हियर इन नेक्स्ट वीडियोस वी completed. Now today we are going to deal with the next paragraph. So students, see page number 33 in left side paragraph, the young man. See here, the young man smiled and nodded nonchalant. Nodded nonchalant means unlikely. उन्होंने स्माइल किया और नोडेड किया अनचलांटली वे से. एज इफ यू से वेल नाइदर वेरी प्लीजेंट नॉर वेरी अनप्लीजेंट. बट एक्चुअली मिस्टर डेविड वांट टू डील विथ मिसेस भंडारी, बट इन हार्ट मन में उन्होंने कहा वेल. ना ये ज़्यादा खुशी की बात है और ना ही ज़्यादा अनप्लीजेंट की बात है. ठीक है. Would you like to have a bath, hot bath, immediately or tea first? So asking Mrs. Bhandari questions to the Mr. David, पहले आप गर्म पानी से नहाओगे या पहले चाय पियोगे? The young man pursed his lips. Purse यानी दबाना. The young man pursed his lips and shrugged his shoulder, obviously implying that one would be as good as the other and that he had no preferences. So actually with the gesture of the shoulders he giving the reply, Mr. David giving the reply, and implying means express the thought would be as good as the other and that he had no preferences. He not giving the any answer to the questions of Mrs. Bhandari, so that's why he is not having the any preferences there. Both the landlord and the landlady were by now slightly disconcerted become a confusion by what they inferred to be their guest pride and arrogance. So Mr. Bhandari and Mrs. Bhandari become confused because Mr. David not giving the any reply to that question, so that's why they become confused. They made confused there by inferred यानी अनुमान करना, सूचित करना. By what? They inferred to be their guest pride or arrogance. So since he had not even dared to reply arrogantly to their polite inquiries, Mr. David not given the answer of any questions if they are Mrs. and Mrs. Bhandari asking the questions with a polite inquiries. एक मृदु inquiries के तहत भी उन्होंने पूछे तो भी Mr. David not given the answer to Mr. and Mrs. Bhandari. The young man meanwhile took out the type sheet and started reading it. जो चीट दिए थे, इन्वॉल्व दिए थे, वो निकाले और पढ़ने लगे. As soon as he had gone through it, he looked around astonished. जैसे ही उन्होंने वो चीट पढ़ी, he became surprised. The little girl Pramodini. So this is the name of that child. Underline there, Pramodini. Okay, Pramodini. Was at the moment playing in the country yard. So when Mr. David looking for the Pramodini, that time also this Pramodini playing in the country yard, we could see her sitting near the flower beds. The young man looked at all of us with a smile and darted out toward her. So according to that, Mr. David asking to that child, because he reading the envelope. In that envelope having the information about that our daughter is deaf and dumb. You may hurt her by trying to be friendly too soon, as she can neither understand nor reply to your kind words. You are requested to please give her time to approach you and make your acquaintance. This is the writing in the envelope. That's why the Mr. David finding that child want to talk. Now, this is very strange. Mrs. Bandari cried out in protest. How rude he is. After reading the envelope, the Mr. David went toward that girl. He is sitting near the flower beds. So that's why the Mrs. Bandari giving the questions for that. Now this is very strange. ये बहुत ही अजब है. How rude he is. After giving the all information, Mr. David going toward the Pramodini. So that's why Mrs. Bandari say like that. He should not have ignored our request like this, the landlord put in more mildly. Mr. Bandari also said that उनको हमारे ये जो इंफॉर्मेशन है, रिक्वेस्ट है, इनको इग्नोर नहीं करना चाहिए. आखिरकार मिस्टर भंडारी भी बोल गए. I too was a bit upset. I means this is Chaman Nehal, narrator. Narrator also become a little upset, for it was obvious that our effort to save Pramodni embarrassment from strangers was going to fail in this instance. Embarrassment means this is the shamelessness. One type of chaos. An instance, here the meaning of example or request, but the actual meaning of this instance, occurrence of something. Okay, see again. I too was a bit upset. The Chaman Nehal said that मैं भी थोड़ा सा अपसेट हुआ. फॉर इट वॉज ऑब्वियस दैट, ये तो होना ही था. क्यों? आवर एफर्ट टू सेव प्रमोदनी एम्बारसमेंट. प्रमोदनी को जो केओस कंडीशन थी उसको हमें बचाना था फ्रॉम एनी स्ट्रेंजर्स, जो भी नए गेस्ट आते हैं उनसे. वॉज गोइंग टू फेल इन दिस इंस्टेंस. एंड आफ्टर दैट गिविंग द मच इंफॉर्मेशन regarding that child. After that Mr. David want to meet her, so that's why they want to save the girl that making embarrassment. So after that he was not going to fail in this instance. ऐसा एग्जाम्पल देने के बाद भी वहाँ पर वो जाने लगा. That's why they feel that Pramodini become a more embarrassment. After a few moments we all walk out to the veranda means this is the porch, and I was apprehensive means falling in care, एक केयर के साथ जाना, of that impending means about to occur, जैसे होने वाला था. Look of anguish, you have knowledge about that, on the faces of the parents and the child. Anguish means extreme mental distress. See again. After a few moments, कुछ क्षणों के बाद we all walk out to the veranda. पोर्च के बाहर हम लोग आ गए. Why? Because giving the information to the David. After that Mr. David want to meet that child. That's why they came out the porch, and I was apprehensive of that impending look of anguish of the faces on the parents and the child. So that's why Chaman Nehal said that they giving the restriction. After that Mr. David want to meet her, so that's why Mrs. and Mr. Bandari become a anguish, वो mental distress हो गए. Why? After giving the information he want to meet that child. So that's why this is the chaos condition in front of the parents and the child. Okay students, I hope you understand very well till here. Today we stop here. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.